is actually the case, because I could be completely wrong. I'm just pretty sure you can trap the Viking in a cage, as you cannot trap him in a top lane.
Is he just?
He's just run. He's ghosted. He's ghosted. We're killing him right now as he'll land the undertow and down goes Faker. There is nowhere he can go. He knew he couldn't flash. Vikla almost dies for it and has to sacrifice his flash, but that's first blood over to BNK.
Now that's the way to make an entrance, Atlas.
Doran's like, I'm in my band. I'm only the bass player, dude. Like, what am I gonna do?
Just come in, pick Olaf.
We could have had a Pentakill top lane as well. It would have been so cool. Because Olaf has a Pentakill skin as well. Guys, he's got some vibes. He is helping out. As now we've got to dive towards the bottom side of the map. That bailout is not happening as Kellen will go down. It is a 1-for-1 sacrifice. As Owner will come on over and catch this wave. But Gumayushi, he's not going to be getting the experience for that one. As T1 kind of getting ran around in this early game. Of course, it's early days, right? And this is a composition that does have some scaling elements, largely in this mid lane.
Yeah, but it's.
I mean, it's
like
still a
Guma.
Kalista comp.
Well, yeah, Guma. Well, yeah. So Kalista to me is one of those interesting characters where I feel like her scaling really depends on what the opponent have. And I do think eventually you can reach a point where like Carrier's ult does enough. If he goes for the kills as well, you can counteract a lot. But if your Kalista does start falling behind early, and Raptor, as he should in this matchup, is going to just try and maximize his early impact, right? Do as much as possible while the Nocturne doesn't have ult. The Nocturne's early power level outside of specifically dueling just isn't that impressive as
So we're just inside the ghoulie wall and just having a good time.
By the way, he hasn't spent his money yet.
Okay, he's still having a great time in this lane, as we can see.
Yeah, Olaf's his base stats are not bad.
Not bad. Does have a decent amount of being able to stay alive as well in the kit, although it's not really working against a bunch of ghouls. The Morning Mist may need to be used here, as, yep, that's just a solo kill for Doran. So
that's challengers, baby!
And Chronicler, I'd like to introduce you to this concept that we like to call a caster curse.
I know what you're talking about. I think that is peak debut challengers experience right there.
Well, as you did previously allude to, he was sitting on a bunch of money. And so he goes back, he buys himself a Phage, teleports towards that top side of the map. And Faker putting on some pressure here in the mid lane as well. As Vikla may just die as the Arcane Storm comes through. Faker is going to get killed by Tibbers because Tibbers gets real mad after Annie goes down. So a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane. As I guess it actually works out for BNK because Vikla is going to have his flash back up earlier than Faker does.
Yeah, with the flash and the fact you trade 1-for-1, that's a trade up. Like playing into Annie in particular, Faker will be in serious trouble. Also opens up the possibility for this mid lane play, and Vikla died earlier. I think this Dragon is just going over to BNK. BNK's early game actually looking great. Outside of, you know, Sobor getting solo killed. That part was...
When it comes to, like...
Is that real info? Probably, maybe.
It would have been really cool if the maiden that you had from the Pentakill Yorick skin was like just very clearly Iron, or just an Iron Maiden that just hovered, so that it's a reference to Iron Maiden. I just feel like that'd be metal. She's not though, as we can see here. Doran is now in a little bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The reckless swing, there's the shot. This is exactly how Olaf wants to play the game, and that is killing you and dying.
That's peak right there.
I don't know if it's good for Zobero, but he is doing stuff that he wants to do. That's all right. True Shot Barrage is going to soften up these Void drops. Carrier's going in. Oh, Blossom's coming down as well, though. The Fate's Call needs to be invested. My God, those Tangle Bobs were so good. As now Vikla is going to try and take down Gumayushi, but he gets bailed out of that one. Only down to 100 health, and Faker is looking to clean this one up. Kellen, not a whole lot he can do in this instance. And T1 win themselves the fight.
In a position to fight.
It was a bit of a rush of blood to the head situation here as Raptor. Possible angle here, but Carrier turns up. Great handshake. As Vikla going to be held in position. Bradley Field not going to really be doing too much. Yeah, you can feel the pressure now that T1 are exerting. And they will be able to do this, right? Like, this 4-1 composition is so scary with the fact that you turn the lights off and kill someone in the side lane. Doran then goes completely nuts, takes all of your stuff, and they never have to worry about the wombo combo because they're not really going to be trying to teamfight you. As a possible fear here onto Raptor. Diablo is moving over though, and Kellen's in position. Carrier finally gets here, and Owner is playing super far up. Some aggressive play out of the man, as the Crab going to move back towards T1.
They're about to be a member off. I don't know about this for BNK.
A little bit dicey here as the Maiden comes down. Doran gets involved a little bit early, though, as now the Paranoia comes in. They look to just get rid of this Xin Zhao as quickly as possible, and Wynn doesn't have time to become lightning because he's dead. Kellen now doing his very best to survive, but he's going to get smoked down where he stands, and it's a double kill for Ona. Another one going over to Doran as he takes down Diablo. And it is going from bad to worse, as yes, Ragnarok doesn't get you out of the goalie wall, as it turns out. So Sobero is
Just gonna die?
possibly just dead. Yeah, the Morning Mist is going to be able to slow him down.
Ona just continuously hovering.
I would
him.
say that Faker is in trouble, but he's not. True Shot Barrage is going to snag him, but there's the Paranoia. Vikla may be in trouble, but that is...
Turn?
Yeah, the turn is going to come on through here. As Ona taking a lot of damage. Pop Blossom holds him in place. He does get a kill before that even happens, though, as the bailout not quite able to work here as the goalie wall also quite happening. And there's Sobero, ladies and gentlemen. It's the double, and now Diablo trying to get amongst it. Faker throws down the gravity field, says no to the rest of this fight, but B&K are back on the board.
That was a 1 for 4! How did that happen?
I have absolutely no idea. We were just like signing the obituary.
Yep.
Oh wait, that means once again we cast a Cursed. And you were Hexblader as well.
Well, like the extra movement speed and attack on your ult is good, no? If you're Nocturne.
I mean, yeah, it does make some sense, but you know, Stridebreaker is a pretty powerful item if you can get in amongst it. As Vikla is now dead, ladies and gentlemen. Doran is going to just allow his Maiden to kill him. Look at this! It's an NPC battle in the bottom lane. But the NPC is now alone.
Okay, I think that's mean to say about Vikla. He hasn't been playing super well, but
it was
let's be...
Tibbers and the Maiden, I'll have you know, Chronicler.
I know, I just wanted to see him respond.
That was a bit toxic.
It's a bit nefarious.
It was a bit nefarious. You have definitely gotten a little bit more edgy, Chronicler, in your time here close.
Oh, we're fighting on the power spike.
Okay.
Sobero has a second item.
Rift Herald might be the moment here. They can then use that to try and make this map a little bit more
Their
for
team
T1.
fight is still really strong. I think T1's too late.
Yeah, Kellen standing in a pretty good position here as the handshake does come through, but that is just a dead Rift Herald as the teleport brought Sobero in. He's looking for a flank angle here. He gets into the brush. That does give T1 all the information here as the goalie wall goes down to make things annoying. Carrier continuing to find these handshakes.
On the poke, they're playing for...
Oh, it's really smart from T1. They're just trying to create some space here as they go in onto Ona, and the Pop Blossom finds everyone! The bailout comes down yet again. They do kill the Nico, though, and so Ona stays alive for a long time into the backline. Goes the Olaf, but he's unable to get on top of Gumayushi. He uses those summoner spells so beautifully. And I was about to say T1 just had the positional advantage around that mid lane, and they utilize it so beautifully to just say no to B&K. They're going to look for even an inner turret off the back end of this as well. Oh, build. You can't take him off the Rift. He will still just go for the team fights. And he's finding it once again. Carrier up here alongside him. Let's see whether Doran and the Maiden can survive as the bailout does come in. The health bar is not going to quite be low enough, though, as Diablo gets close, to be perfectly honest. Owner on the cross map is going to be taking the second dragon for T1, as the Rift Herald does deal with this top outer turret. Still actually a bit of a help here for B&K. Outside of the fact that they lose the dragon, they may be able to get another charge. As you can see here, they do manage to collect it, so half health on the inner turret top lane. Still, it feels like everything's kind of a trade down at this point in time there to Gumayushi, but he is very happy.
I know, so he does Roto Aegis, but it's still a level and a half.
I'm going to go with a Golly on that one. I'm going to give it a
Oh, Golly, OGs.
Oh darn. Yeah, it's a bit of that. It's just not exactly Vikla's time at this point, and the Annie, the comeback mechanics, not that many of them.
Oh yeah, Flash ult, that's a classic.
I mean, I guess you're basically support.
All you need,
so you need Kellen to be fed or something like that. As he is going to find the flash stun onto Faker. Arcane Storm comes down. He does flash away and puts everyone into the gravity field and says, "Nah."
That's a good trade.
Yeah,
take that.
Get the flash. Oh, Sobero loses interest on camera.
Well, yeah, he's not that young. He's still a zoomer, you know? He's like, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to chase.
Well, he also probably saw the red dots heading towards his bottom inner turret out of the tangle bars. That's good news. As T1 just want to grab some crab. They will be able to do that. Okay, mid lane is facing off here in the brush. Raptor turns up. This time around, maybe there's an option for the rest of T1. They get in position. The handshake's gorgeous. Faker just going to walk his way out. B&K thinking that they got enough buttons to take down this Otacon. Let's see whether that is indeed the case. As Vikla, he can go back, teleport in. B&K looking for the turn immediately, though, as we can see, hostile takeover. Gonna find only Raptor as the goalie wall is gonna lock up Sobro. He's now looking to run his way out as the Maiden is chasing them all down. And T1, they do get them off the Otacon. Is this enough to get the objective for themselves?
I don't know about doing it themselves. They feel confident. Faker is back with full health. The zone control is decent.
It's a 6v6 now as well. Tithers and the Maiden getting amongst it. And B&K, they're just not going to go for it. They don't have the confidence. And the Otacon just going to go over to T1.
Was a little worried when I saw that TP, but Carrier ensures, together with Owner, that operation, make sure Doran doesn't get instantly blown up.
Oh, rocking the W as well.
That might be second dragon for B&K here.
Yeah, especially considering they're going to be without a Kalista. That being said, he is actually taking the Wolves instead. Diablo trying to do it one more time. Is Faker, if at first or second you don't succeed, try again, and unfortunately don't try again, because it never really works here, ladies and gentlemen. Owner, though, is going low. Carrier bails himself out, but it's not quite going to work, as it's a 1-for-1 trade. Vikla, unfortunately, just doesn't have the health bar to survive in these fights. And Doran is just taking the base.
It's still kind of a window. Oh, they're not going to go for... I thought they were going to actually go for Dragon. There's no TPs. I think they could have. Instead, they're looking for the collapse onto Doran, who is going to trade his life for an init, which I think you're not too sad about. If you can turn it into Dragon.
Well, let's see what he can actually find here, as he's going to flash. There's a blast cone.
Never mind.
Never mind. A-okay.
Really felt like they could have gotten him from more angles and probably killed him.
And the Maiden even absorbed a flash. Sorry, a smite? I said flash, that would be silly. He absorbed a smite from Raptor. Crazy value. Here for, like, if it's not critical mass now, it's getting close. This has been a fun game, though. This has been a much more fun game than I was expecting.
I was expecting a blowout. That's the kind of the B&K special, though. I feel like they always go out in style. They do go out a lot because they're 5-9.
And it's not even necessarily in style, but it is on their own terms. That is definitely a fact. That's all right. Dragon going to be secured. That is Soul Point going over to T1. 1.5k, the lead for Doran. 1.5 also the lead for Owner.
I also really like his choice for Phase Rush into Olaf specifically. It's not something we already talked about too much, but obviously not the normal rune you go. On Yorick, I've seen mostly Conquer. I want to say a Grosp or two as well, but not going to be the case here. And allows you to actually...
I feel like you'd get a bit more sticky. Yeah.
Yeah, well that as well, but I think it's also allows you to have more agency early on, right?
Yeah, the idea is to have short trades against Olaf. Olaf, generally, if you stay around him, he kills you.
Did see that. Third item now done for Guma. There is the turn is now finished for him. Death Dance as well for Sober, which I do think is quite good. Faker has not gone for a very damage-oriented build. Right, we're looking at Zonya's third. So between the Mercs and then Roa and then Cosmic Drive, it's hard, really hard to take him down. And he will be doing a good job of kiting his... Oh my god.
Oh,
the little goal that could. Come on.
Get him. Get in.
There
he is. He's like, I'm finished. I only wanted to kill you, brother.
No!
Unfortunately, you're going to get taken down by...
He did get his revenge.
He did. The revenge of the Merc Wolf. All right, Vikla, let's do it. Doran doesn't get stunned, though. And he just wanders out of range. He places Sobro in a circle, and now he's just looking to kill him. There he goes. Vikla now in not a bit of trouble. He's dead. Yeah, Doran is way too large. Now T1 should be able to take themselves to Baron because Doran just like 1v2 double kills.
He's going to end the game.
Yeah, all that.
He's going to Raptor, can't steal.
Yeah, doesn't matter though, is the question. The smite is not even required because the Ren is what secures it. Down goes this Xin Zhao, and Kellen in his side lane will not be able to do anything to Olaf. Yeah, Diablo is going to get back to base, but I think a lot of him wishes he didn't. As, yeah, he's on the fountain, but the Maiden does not care about your fountain. And Doran doesn't care about your Nexus. He's going to